Turn to part 3. You will hear 3 different talks or lectures. In each talk or lecture there are 5 questions. For each question, choose the correct answer A, B, C or D. You will hear the talks or lectures only once. Now open your questions paper and look at talk or lecture 1. You now have 35 seconds to look through the questions and the options. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
I was a small child when and moved with my family to
or something that should be left in the past.
Now open your question paper and look at Talker Lecture 3. You now have 35 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Are ready to start.
I hope that your travels from your home country have been easy and that you are all settling in well. I believe I've met everyone, but just in case, I'm the director for International Student Affairs, person you can come to if you're having problems with your classes, your housing, visas. You're always welcome to stop by my office. We'll today, and we'll be talking about some common issues. The first one that I want to deal with is communication, and in particular, nonverbal communication. Now, all of you have been studying English for some time. You have a good vocabulary, verb tenses and modals, and can ask directions and order from a menu. But communication is not only verbal. That is, talking is not the only language we use to communicate. Nonverbal communication, or body language. The term body language means the movements we use and the facial expressions we have, like smiling or frowning, the way we sit or stand, the way we touch or look at someone, the distance we stand from another person. Some psychologists say that more than 60% of our communication is actually done through body language. We do it without thinking or without ever having been specifically taught what the gestures or expressions mean. The problem is that body language is a little bit different in each culture, and this can often cause some problems with communication. Here's an example. Places, it may be a little rude or disrespectful to look at another person directly in their eyes as you talk with them. So many international students will avoid this eye contact. But in America, we expect it. We think of eye contact as a sign of honesty and straightforwardness. American parents actually encourage their children. Just imagine a conversation where an student was trying to be respectful by not looking into the eyes of her American classmate. The American might wonder why her classmate wouldn't look directly at her. The national classmate would be wondering why she was being stared at. The end result is an awkward and frustrating interaction. Oh, here's another one. Americans shake hands firmly when they greet each other because to Americans, a firm handshake signifies strength and power. But a soft or limp handshake is considered a sign of weakness.
Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
I was a small child when I left Vietnam with my family to live in America. For me and my little brother, it didn't take long before we felt American, but for my parents and two older sisters, the biggest problem for my mother was the language. We were living in New York, and although there were quite a lot of Vietnamese families near us, they didn't work in the stores. This meant my mother had to take me with her when she went shopping, and I was usually at school. For my father, the most important thing when we arrived was to find a job. Luckily, he had friends who knew us in Vietnam, and they helped him get a job in a factory. In Saigon, he had been a doctor. My two older sisters went to high school. They worked hard and did well, and the school gave them extra English lessons. Even now, though, they speak with Vietnamese accents. My brother and I are lucky. We may look Vietnamese, but we speak with American accents. My family found the way of life very different. In Vietnam, my mother used to spend a lot of time visiting her sisters and brothers and looking after her mother and father. She feels, but I do find the winters are quite hard to put up with in New York. It's very cold and snows a lot. My mother still wears traditional Vietnamese clothes at home and always cooks us rice and noodles. I must admit, I prefer burgers and chips. Although my friends like to visit us, I often feel a bit embarrassed by my parents' way of life. Now, I suppose it's sad for them to have such a strange daughter.
Options in each question. Ready to start. Listen carefully.
In American schools, almost every classroom is a mix of boys and girls. However, it was not